Hello, everyone. Today I'm excited to share a small part of our journey of launching the community edition of Semaphore. Whether you're thinking about open sourcing your own product or you're just curious about what happens behind the scenes, I'll do my best to give you a product manager's perspective on what it was and what it still is like open sourcing the product, the challenges, the surprises, and of course the lessons we learned along the way. But before we jump in, take a moment to check out our GitHub repository and give it a star. At these early stages, it definitely means a lot to us. It's Semaphore.io on GitHub. So, yeah, when you get the chance, check it out, add that star. And yeah, let's move in. So, we're going to break this talk into two main parts. First, we are going to talk a bit about product challenges, well, some of them at least, and what we learned about the key differences between our cloud and community edition. And we're also going to touch a bit upon operational challenges and how we're trying to shift to this building in public approach and what we're doing to get the developers and end users directly involved into shaping the product. But before we get into all that, maybe let's start with the big question that every product manager asks first, and that is why? Why are we open sourcing Semaphore in the first place? Well, from product perspective, our goal is very simple. We want to make Semaphore available to larger audience. We already have a solid base of monthly active users, but over time we realized something important, and that's that there are so many talented developers who just cannot use our product because it's a cloud-based solution and that's not always available to everyone. Um, or they're using a different tech stack. So we decided to open source Semaphore and do whatever we can to make it accessible to a wider group. And with that decision came a clear opportunity, and that is a more inclusive product equals a better Semaphore, or at least we hope that will be the case. So, long story short, the reason from product side why we're doing making this step is to get a wider audience, more eyes on our product, and hopefully get a lot more feedback on it, which should result in a better Semaphore and experience for all the users overall. However, as soon as we made that call, one thing became clear, and that's that our onboarding experience needs a complete overhaul. Now, getting onboarded to a cloud app versus an open source app is a lot like traveling with your parents versus traveling solo in your 20s. When you're with your parents, everything is planned, flights are booked, hotels reserved, meals sorted, and that's the cloud experience. It's got built-in support and structure. But when you're on your own, it's a whole different game. You got more freedom, less commitment, but also way less guidance, and that's usually the open source experience from my point of view. You're in control, but you have to figure a lot of things on yourself. So this shift made us realize that we need to rethink how we guide and support users through their open source journey, and that's why onboarding users to open source app can be way more challenging. There's just no support team to help smooth out product and UX issues. There's no safety net. Users are on their own. So in order to improve our onboarding in product, we defined these key success factors, and we realized that these are the things that you want to pay attention to. First of all is simple installation. Our users come from all kinds of backgrounds, and we wanted to make sure that Semaphore is easy to install and works smoothly across various tech stacks. In-app onboarding without support team to act as a crutch. We have to have a product that itself does the heavy lifting in this area. And great documentation is crucial for any open source project, really. I mean, we always treated the docs as a part of the product, but in this particular case, they are essential. They are a difference between users sticking around or bouncing, in my opinion. So by focusing on these, we aim to improve the whole onboarding experience and make it self-sufficient. Now, One challenge that we had is, how to test it. And some lessons that we learned here is that if you're thinking about redesigning onboarding in your own app, first thing you have to do is make sure you eliminate domain knowledge. No one in your team can truly experience onboarding like a first time user. They just know too much. To get a real insight, you need external testers, ideally from different backgrounds, who can provide fresh and unbiased feedback. Second thing is screen recordings are absolutely essential. Bug reports, tickets, those are all helpful, but nothing beats watching real users struggle in real time. Screen recordings give you a full picture and make it easier to spot bottlenecks and friction points. But you also don't want to forget the quantitative goals and feedback loops. So you need to define and track measurable goals. You can optimize onboarding forever. This is one product area that can always be improved, but eventually you need to know when to stop. And setting a clear, measurable goals like success rate, time to first success, definitely help in this area. So the key thing to remember is that onboarding isn't a one-time fix. It's an ongoing process, and on our end, we've just started the journey in making the Semaphore Community Edition more accessible. We're excited really to test on how well the changes that we made so far are working. But no matter what the results are, we know that the road ahead of us is still long. You know, so one thing to note if you're considering open source is when it comes to onboarding, it's a whole different game between cloud and open source product. Yeah. Um, so now on, let's switch gears a bit and dive into operational challenges. But before we get into that, I feel like we need to align first on what open source really means for us as a company. Uh, the common mistake that people are making, in my opinion, is treating open source as a business model. It's not a business model. In reality, open source is a collaborative process. It's not about making money directly, at least not in traditional sense. I mean, over the years, we've gained incredible value from working closely with the customers. The direct feedback that we get during those interactions is amazing. And for a dev tool product like ours, the dynamic is a bit different. Our users are developers, and as a product manager, that's a dream come true, because you have end users that have a deep understanding on the whole process. So that's why we wanted to take it even further, and we didn't want to just engage with a subset of our users. We wanted to bring all end users into the fold and involve them directly into our design process, and ideally collaborate with them at every single stage of our product development, right? So if you're thinking about open sourcing your product, here are some of the benefits that we personally hope to achieve. We would, by making this move, we would like to get an early feedback. Oh, let's do this. Yeah, we want to get early feedback. By involving end users and developers in design process, we hope to shift left our product design and catch design flaws earlier, uh, and improve our product with real world insights. We're also hoping for faster innovation. Public projects need to stay active to succeed. So we plan to use Community Edition platform to keep focusing on smaller product improvements and deliver more frequent updates. Something that we've been slightly neglecting on the cloud version in favor of larger features. And we are also hoping that we'll get better feature prioritization by making our roadmap public and democratizing the whole process. We hope to align more closely with what users actually need and deliver the features with greater accuracy. So, with these benefits in mind, the question is what goals are we setting to make sure we actually achieve all these benefits? And from an operational perspective, at least, our goal is simple. For a start, we want to make it easy for users to contribute to Semaphore's development. So this means, in practical terms, clear contribution guides, well-documented code, and a beginner-friendly setup so that new contributors can get started quickly, etc., etc. I mean, The key challenges and the things to pay attention to, something that we are still tackling, is number one, rethinking the roadmap ownership. It's very important to find the right balance between commercial goals and community input so we can build a product that works for everyone. And I'll explain a bit the way we're trying to solve this. Supporting contributors is a pretty important item. Making sure contributing to Semaphore is a frictionless experience by providing clear docs, well scoped issues, and open, welcoming community. And the last thing is building in public, like overall shifting our entire team's mindset to embrace this sort of transparency where collaboration and open discussions happen in public and the things that shape our product decisions happen in public. So we got a lot to figure out, but that's all part of the journey. I don't know if you're a Power Ranger fan, but to me, the whole process feels a lot like building a Megazord. So it's like bringing together these different components to create something much greater than the sum of its parts. And the key tools that we are currently using to make open collaboration easier is number one, treating contributor experience like product experience. So we already treat documentation as part of the product, and we're applying the same mindset to contributor experience. So as a first step, we have set an ongoing project dedicated to improving the whole developer experience for those that wish to contribute to Semaphore. It's in early stages, but we do plan to iterate in close future. Second thing is allocating dedicated resources to community edition. We want to ensure that the community edition never gets sidelined. So we've set up a system where it gets its own track and fixed amount of engineering hours every month. It can a minimal amount of engineering hours every month. It can go beyond what we've set. So it's not just an afterthought for us. And in terms of embracing public development, we are slowly but surely moving from private team chats in Slack to public discussions in Discord. We want to fully open our build process. So we're also recording and sharing our feature design sessions. You can actually check it out on YouTube on Semaphore Backstage channel. So anyone can follow or even contribute to our decision making process. In fact, some of these sessions are already open to public, and then you can join them. Which, speaking of, if you're excited to join us on this journey, here's how you can get involved. Number one is joining our Discord. Connect with us, join the Discord. All the updates that we have regarding Community Edition will be happening there. There's a small number of groups there already, but we tend to increase that as we shift from Slack. Sign up for special interest groups. Right now, we have three smaller groups, but we plan to open more soon. This is a great way to dive deeper into specific topics and collaborate directly with our team of like minded developers during the design stages of the product. Number three is share your ideas and feedback. We want to hear from all of you. That's why we're doing this in the first place. So drop your thoughts in GitHub discussions and issues. Your insights will help shape Semaphore's future. And yeah, ideally become a contributor. Contribute to the project. If you or someone on your team would like to contribute, let us know. Reach out to us either on Discord or through GitHub. We'll do our best to support and guide you every step of the way. We're excited to build this thing together and to make the open source sound for a success. Once again, thank you for joining me on this session. Remember to visit our repo and hit a star on GitHub, and happy building.